What's up, interventionists? It's me, Lady Hell, and we literally just, y'all know I'm teaching math this year. So what we're doing right now is called Falcon Fest, and we had to go to each of these classes and figure out what we're gonna be learning about, because y'all know they got me in math this year. And I told y'all I was gonna record all PD stuff and come through, right? So I'll come back and I'll tell y'all what I learned about math, and then I'll link the TED Talk that was on there because it was really good. Yeah, so let's go to this.
What I mean. Read this third grade California math standard and see if it would make sense to an 8-year-old. Understand a fraction 1 over b as a quantity formed by one part when whole is partitioned into b equal parts. Understand a fraction a over b as a quantity formed by a parts of size 1 over b. And if you gave this description to an 8-year-old, you'd probably get a reaction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense. But to a kid, it's absolute torture. I chose this example specifically because fractions are foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So if kids don't understand fractions in elementary and middle school, they've got a tough road ahead of them in high school. But is there a way to make fractions simple and easy for kids to understand? Yes. Just remember that math is a language and use that to your advantage. For example, when I teach 5th graders how to add and subtract fractions, I start with the apples plus apples lesson. First, I ask, what's 1 apple plus 1 apple? And kids will often say 2, which is partially correct. Have them include the words as well, since math is a language. So it's not just 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You all know that pencils plus pencils give you pencils. So everyone, how many pencils?
5 pencils.
5 pencils is right. And the key is you included the words. I tried this lesson with my 5-year-old niece once. After she added pencils and pencils, I asked her, what's 4 billion plus 1 billion? And my aunt overheard this and she scolded me and said, are you crazy? She's in kindergarten. How's she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? Undaunted, my niece finishes counting, looks up and says, 5 billion? And I said, that's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt just shook her head and laughed because she did not expect that from a 5-year-old. But all you have to do is take a language approach and math becomes intuitive and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergarteners are definitely not supposed to know. What's 1/3 plus 1/3? And immediately she answered 2/3. So if you're wondering, how could she possibly know that when she doesn't know about numerators and denominators yet? You see, she wasn't thinking about numerators and denominators. She thought of the problem this way. And she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So if even a kindergartner can add fractions, you better believe that every 5th grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her a high school algebra question. What's 7x squared plus 2x squared? And this little 5-year-old girl correctly answered 9x squared. And she didn't need any exponent rules to figure that out. So when people say that we are either hardwired for math or not, it's not true. Math is a human language.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Excuse me. Enjoyed that video. It was powerful. I have the link to the actual TED Talk. Go check that out, especially if you are teaching math. It don't matter what level you're teaching math on, because if we teach the kids the language, strategies and tricks and all that'll work. But it is so powerful, and that's why ELA, like I said, y'all, I was in my feelings about going to math. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. However, something as I'm learning as I'm learning as well, is that how language is so fluid and it goes across content. So language flow, or schematic of language, not schematics, but syntax. The syntax of language flows cross curriculum. Because if you understand how language flows, you'll be able to understand math, science, all of those. Math uses syntax of language to learn algorithms, right? If you learn algorithms, no matter where you are in life, you will understand. And that's why algorithms are so important. Like, as I'm learning, like at first, I was really mad about math, but I'm sitting up here and I'm learning this stuff, and I'm like, listen. And this is something you teach your children. You know, this is why math is important. We have the next part going on. So after that, I'm going to go home and put this video together today. As promised, I'm going to put it together today. All right, this is what we call Falcon. They're calling this Falcon Fest. And it's basically personal development. And the last class that I went to was about, good. I don't even remember. I ain't going to lie to you. But it was something about, how you remember your good teachers and you remember your bad teachers, and each of them can actually help you. But your teachers matter, and they're very important, and they could change the trajectory of people's life. So even those wilding about children, you can be the teacher that changed their lives forever. So the next 2 classes is like sped stuff, and I guess we'll talk about that. And this year, y'all, because I'm not working on a whole bunch of stuff, I'm gonna actually get to sit down with you guys and get to talk to you guys about curriculum and different stuff like that, classroom management, all that good wholesome stuff that y'all love bitching about. And I'm gonna say it like that in the groups where y'all bitch about these classroom management and stuff like that when you the damn adult. Okay, classroom management, it ain't really that hard, to be very honest with you. It's all about you taking some authority. And I'm gonna do a whole series, and I know some of you gonna say, you can't say that, lady, that ain't nice. That ain't nice words. I'm gonna say, stop bitching and manage the class. That's gonna be a whole series. It's gonna and everything. I'm gonna talk about everything y'all bitch about, and then I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna give you the stuff to manage the class. All right. So y'all get ready for that. It's called Stop Bitching and Manage the Class. All right, talk to y'all soon.